Welcome to the warm-up exercise for the Why Am I podcast called The Fantasy Restaurant. In here, my guests get to pick their favorite drink, appetizer, main side, and dessert, and quite literally, anything goes. So Andy puts together what I'd like to think I'd order from like a fancy steakhouse, but while wearing a $3,000 suit. So it's simple ingredients done well, which to me is the heart of any good dish. So I hope you enjoy this meal with Andy. Andy, thanks for joining me in the fantasy restaurant today.
How you doing?
Doing great, sir. Well, I'm Greg. I'm going to be your waiter, and so I was about to say I'm assuming, but I absolutely know you've never been to the fantasy restaurant. So just
never
for your
even thought about it, to be honest with you.
Exactly. You don't know it. You don't know it. Or what is it? If you know, you know. Here it is. Now you know. So this is a meal that's going to be comprised of maybe things that your mom used to make for you as a kid, maybe your grandma, maybe this is stuff you make that you absolutely love, maybe it comes from your favorite restaurant, your favorite movie or fantasy novel. Like literally none of this has to make any sense, no rhyme or reason, except
Perfect.
to you. Sound good?
Okay.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Man. All right, well, as any good waiter, I got to start at the start, so what are you going to have to drink?
You know, I usually just start out because, sodas are so bad for me and I drink way too many of them. I'll just start out with usually water or unsweetened tea.
All right, you're going to do water. Are we doing tap water? We going like some carbonated? You doing some bubbles? What are you doing?
Okay. I don't like carbonated water. It's the only thing I don't like with bubbles because it always has some weird bite to it that I can't stand. I would say we'll go with where's this restaurant? We have to think about where it is. Now, if it's in Tahoe where the water's good out of the tap, I'll go still tap water. But if it's, if I'm in LA, I'm going to bottled water.
So that's something fun. Like, I love it when somebody asks about the atmosphere. This can literally be anywhere you want. It can look like anything. We can have whatever decorum, whatever.
We're going to import Tahoe water. How about
Tahoe water? All right. So we're going to do LA, but we're going to have Tahoe water.
Yeah.
All right. Are you full ice all the way?
Well, we'd have to import the ice too. Otherwise, LA ice is just going to screw up the Tahoe water,
Yeah, I grew up in a town too where you get like a soda out of the fountain, and as the water starts melting, it's like, what is going on here?
Yeah,
this is getting disgusting by the second. All right, so we're gonna do that. And you said some iced tea as well. You go unsweet or sweet?
We'll just stick with the water.
Just water. All right, brother. Yeah. All right. Well, now we hit the part of the meal that's genuinely my favorite part. That's the appetizer portion because I feel the most adventurous. So what are you getting as an app?
Well, recently I had some bacon wrapped dates that were pretty epic. So we can go with those.
Bacon wrapped dates, dude. So I guess that's a little salty, a little sweet. You get kind of a combo there. Is that the idea?
Yeah, a little bit. There's some some cheese in there that's maybe like a goat cheese or that type of a cheese. So it has a little bit of a bite that I actually don't usually care for that much, but in that combination it was pretty good.
Did you put a sauce on that? Do you dip in that, or is it just straight up the way it comes?
I think it was pretty much the way it came with the cheese and the date like that,
Man, I'd give it a day in court. I will try anything once. Literally, I will try anything once.
Yeah, that's me too.
Interesting.
Right. I travel a lot, so I've eaten all over the world, and so you do have to do that.
Yeah, you gotta live a little, experience it in situation. Yeah, you know what? I've it's funny. I like doing this fancy restaurant thing because I have never had a bad meal with a person. The food may not have been great, but the meal is always good. So like when I'm traveling, I'm meeting new people. It's one of my favorite ways.
Exactly, I agree with you, 100%.
All right, so now we've hit this kind of weird interstitial period in between the appetizer and the main. I like to call the bread/soup/salad portion. You doing anything in there? You doing all of it? What are you doing?
We could forego that. Otherwise, I'll just be full on carbs with the bread. I never order bread, but if it's on a table in front of me and there's butter, it's gone. I'll eat it all.
All right. Well, there's this quirk of the fantasy restaurant. You can never get full if you want, or you can never get drunk. Like this is a fantasy. This is up to you. So
yeah. No, I think I'll stick with that. We'll stick with going to the main course.
All right. Well, you got it, man. We'll just skip all that stuff. We'll go straight to the mains. What does that look like?
I think right now prime rib's sounding pretty good.
Prime rib. Now, what's the perfect way to cook a prime rib?
You got to have it rare to medium rare at the most.
All right. Now, are you the kind of guy that puts fixings on top? You want like mushrooms and onions, or do you just want a medium
on the prime
rare?
rib? I mean, I cook and I make a lot of things, but I think sometimes, a lot of times, especially at restaurants, they get so into trying to make things their own that they lose the base of whatever they're cooking, you know? So they, it's like they put all this different spice on and eventually it's like I could have eaten any piece of meat and it would taste just like that spice now. So I kind of am a little bit of a purist. Less is more sometimes with cooking and with, food like that. So I'm for, yeah, just the meat, maybe some au jus on it, keep it from getting dry at all, or hopefully they let it rest enough so that it keeps all the juices in it and it's not going to get that way.
Boy, I sense what you're saying, and
Getting
I know
hungry.
100% what you mean. Like if you do things, you take simple things like just a really good steak, but you do it excellently, it elevates it, right? Like just
Right.
do the basics, but do them really well. I get you.
Yeah, I mean, you can do little things to make it, put it off a little bit, make it a little better or go along with it, but you don't ever lose the base of what you're eating.
Yeah. And that kind of reminds me of like, because I've been to places before where they're like, you'll order something and it'll be come out and it's the chef's interpretation of this thing. And it's like, oh, this is so much different than I expected. Not to say that's bad, but
Right.
I don't know.
It's just not exactly what you expect.
Yeah, like my brain gets like in this specific mode for this thing, and it's just it doesn't quite meet expectations. There's never been a time where it exceeded expectations. It always kind of was like, it's sort of weird. But if I know that going into it, I'm okay. All right, it's just a little
Yeah.
bit different. I just don't like
I
those
agree.
surprises. All right, so what are you going to pair as a side with your prime rib?
Maybe some grilled asparagus and what do you think? Or it could be we could do that and what else sounds good? I mean, I like good garlic mashed potatoes. That's good, especially with prime rib. I think that'd be good. We'll go with those.
All right, so in your garlic mashed potatoes, are those lumpy? Are they perfectly smooth? Are you still going to have the skin in there? What's the story?
I don't honestly if they're not russet potatoes, if they're like the golden potatoes,
Yeah,
I'm fine with the skin being in there a little bit. I don't mind lumps. I like to know that it's actually a potato. I hate mashed potatoes that ever were come out of a box or been dehydrated or anything.
Yes.
It's just horrible to me.
Yeah, it's the worst. It's such a turn off for me.
Reconstituting any food is bad to me.
In an emergency, I guess that makes sense. But man, like I do not like. There's something about, especially box mashed. Maybe it's because I ate so many of those as a kid. Like I
think me too.
I
think
don't
so
want
too.
anything to do with it anymore ever again.
No, not that I can't. If we run through, side of the road, grab something at a Cracker Barrel or whatever, I'll eat whatever they give me, or McDonald's, or not knocking it. I'd rather go to McDonald's than a lot of other places out there. But it's I can eat anything. But if I'm making something or I'm ordering something at a fantasy restaurant, I want it to be good.
100%. I've heard somebody say there's like three different types of ways of eating. One is just like consuming to just get calories. One is like a meal, and then one's like more like an experience, right? And if you're going to do an experience, you want everything to be elevated, right?
Yeah.
Just so I can
You want it to be a good experience all the way across. You don't want to think about it being bad or
100%.
mediocre and anything like that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right. So now we're moving to the most important part of the meal, which is going to be the dessert portion. So what are you going to get?
Wow. I'll tell you what. I like creme brulee a lot if it's good. I only like a little bit of dessert. And it's not, I love sweets. I love all sweets. But I just only usually like a little bit. So usually my wife or my daughters and I will just share something a little bit. But creme brulee is good. I like an old-fashioned chocolate sundae. I think that's about as much chocolate as I like. Although my daughter got a lava cake at Morton's about 2 weeks ago. It was pretty epic. I liked it. And I don't usually like that there. So, not necessarily there. It's the first time I ever had it there. But at most places, I don't really like it very much.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what I'll do is you've mentioned three things. Will you do for special guests like yourself? Occasionally, we'll do these little mini portions so you can try lots of everything.
Yeah, it's like pedophores. I like it.
Yeah, there you go. It reminds me of like I went to this this restaurant. It's I'm going total opposite direction. I went to this restaurant in Tulsa one time called the Bull in the Alley. It's just you walk into this alley and there's this weird metal sign hanging off, and that's it. It's just a picture of it's like a metal cut out of a bowl. Anyway, I got the creme brulee there, and it came out like the size of a hubcap. It was daunting, and it was amazing, but it was just like, there's only one of me here, guys.
Yeah.
A little bit out of hand. All right, well, let me read back your order to make sure I don't mess it up. I hate having the kitchen getting blamed for my mistakes. So we're going to go, we're going Tahoe water with Tahoe ice.
Gotta have, that's the most important part so far. That's where we've gotten the most picky tonight, is the water.
Dude, I'm on board. I grew up in a town with terrible water, so now that I'm in a place where it's good, it definitely makes a difference. Then we're going to do bacon wrapped dates. We're going to have we're skipping bread soup salad. We're not doing any of that mess. We're not even going to pretend to be healthy and eat a salad. I mean, it's a fancy restaurant. We're not putting on ears here.
I love salad. Actually, I really love salads. But, restaurant salads always put me off, to be honest with you. I spend enough time working in restaurants and, prepping things, and I don't want salad from a restaurant. As a matter of fact, you look at all the people that got listeria, and they've gotten all the foodborne illnesses that shut the restaurants down and everything. It's almost always the lettuce.
Dang. All right, guys, making a case against healthy eating. I'm here for it, dude.
But I eat it at home all the time. I swear to you, we eat salads, and pretty epic salads with spring mix and all the different green leafy vegetables and cucumbers and avocados and tomatoes. And I just eat mine with balsamic vinegar on it, and that's it. So I love vegetables. I love my veggies, so they're good for you. Just I don't trust restaurants.
Hey, fair enough. You got that 1,000-yard stare over there. I get it, man. All right, so your mains is prime rib. We're doing rare to medium rare, a little bit of au jus to keep it moist. Beyond that, we are doing some grilled asparagus. We're going to do maybe some garlic mashed potatoes. We're going to do golden potatoes. That way they're still a little lumpy. You still get some of the skin in there, get some of those vitamins and minerals in them. And then we're going to close it out with small portions of a creme brulee. Now, I've had creme brulee before that had like kind of this little lattice. It was almost like a pancake batter that they made this little lattice in and put it on there just to get a little extra texture, man. Are you here for that?
Interesting. Yeah, well, I'll try it. Sure, I'll try it once.
All right. Then we're going to do a chocolate sundae and a molten lava cake from Morton's. Sound good?
Sounds good. Yeah, we'll get
Excellent. Well, Andy, thank you for joining me
in
the fancy
hungry.
restaurant.
I'm going to have to cut this short.
I stay hungry, brother. I stay hungry. All right, let me write down your time stamp.